Like the color? I'm spring ready. My paparazzi accessories that I sell as an independent consultant. $5 jewelry. Necklaces come with the free matching earrings. But that's not what I came here for. Oh, ring two. So, what if I told you that your storm was supposed to happen? Your personal storm. What if I told you that all hell breaking out around you, that tornado you're in, that cyclone you're in, that hurricane you're standing in the center of? What if I told you it was meant to be, that it was supposed to happen? You had to go through this. This had to happen to you. What if I told you that? What if I told you that you're being proved? Let me give you an example. For those who bake, when you bake bread from scratch, when you bake any bread product from scratch, you have to knead the dough. You mix it, and you have to knead it. But after you knead it, after you get all the ingredients together, you have to cover it. And you have to put it away for a few hours. You have to be buried when you're a seed, when you're growing flowers. You have to take that seed because you can't do anything with that seed. In order to make that flower, that plant, that vegetable, that tree, that seed has to be planted. Like the dough for the bread has to be covered. It has to be in darkness. How else is it going to rise? How else is it going to grow? It has to be proved. It has to be covered. And after a period of time, buried under that cover, buried under that dirt, after a period of time, you rise. You grow. So as you're being buried in that darkness, you're growing. When you come out from that cover, so when the bread is ready to be put into the oven, when that dough is ready to be put in the oven, it is uncovered. But then you have to apply heat. So there are different levels to your storm. Just like a hurricane, there is what happens first, and then the calm. That eye is calm. And then here come all hell behind it. So after that cover is lifted and you see the light of day, you still have heat. You still have a period of time where you still are being worked on. You see what I mean? So at a point when that seed starts to sprout, it doesn't come up above ground yet. It's still under there and it's still growing. Like a diamond. A diamond is formed under pressure. Pressure and heat. It just doesn't pop up out of nowhere. You just don't level up. You just don't come out from under without being changed. So this storm, this hell you feel, where you feel like everything is crashing down around you, where you feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel, where you feel like, who did I piss off in this universe for all of this to hit me back to back to back? As soon as one thing happens, then another, then another, then another. That's your storm. What I want you to do is see it for what it is. Your proving ground. You're being formed, you're being molded into who you're supposed to be to live out your destiny. You can't get there unless you change. Dough doesn't become bread. It doesn't. It has to change. It has to be covered. It has to go through something. And then heat has to be applied in order for you to see it as bread. That diamond starts off as coal. And it's buried deep within the earth. Heat, pressure, time, and then it comes out shining. And worth. The worth is changed because you're not going to spend money on a piece of coal, but you're going to spend money on a diamond. So, with that pressure comes change, and with that change, your worth is greater than it was before the storm. You feel me? You understand me? So this storm you're going through, it has to happen. Change is painful, and this storm may seem like it's never going to end. But there is a light at the end of that tunnel. You just have to change your perspective. You have to change the way you see it. You can't buckle under this pressure because what you want, what you need is on the other side of that storm. What you've waited your whole life for is on the other side of that storm. You have to plant your feet and be unmovable until that storm passes. And it will pass. It will pass. You will see the other side. But oh, what's on the other side? That's what you want. That's what you need. That's what you've been praying for, isn't it? Be careful what you pray for. Because sometimes what you pray for, what you really think you need, what's part of your destiny. Say you know what you were born for. You know what your purpose is. To get there, you have to walk through that storm. You have to. Like walking across hot coals, you have to walk through that fire to get to what you need. But the process of getting there, from here to there, can feel like your entire life is being ripped apart. And it has to be. You need to understand that. It has to be ripped apart. The life that you knew it, the life as you knew it, has to disappear. Because you don't want what you have been getting for the past few years. You want something new. So something new has to happen to you in order for you to get what you've been praying for, right? What you've been begging for, right? What you've been crying about. You want that house, that beautiful house with the vaulted ceilings and light streaming in from beautiful windows. You want that 2-car garage. You want that new car. You want that business, that job that pays you much money. That's what you want. You want that business that's going to bring you in 6+ figures. That's what you've been asking for, right? You want notoriety, right? That's what you've been asking for. But what we don't realize sometimes is what we ask for, we might just get. But the process that we have to go through in order to get our dreams, in order for us to reach our goals, in order for us to get it, in order for us to have it and live it, we have to go through some hell. We have to go through that F5 tornado. And I don't know about you, but I've been in an F5 tornado. I have seen 100-year-old oak trees, huge trunks, huge roots be twisted and bent like they're plastic straws. I've seen that. I've seen houses ripped off of its foundation. I've seen cars flying through the air. I've seen animals flying through the air. I've seen the damage an F5 can do. And for those of you who don't know, an F5 tornado is the most devastating thing you've ever witnessed. Scared me. and I don't scare easily. So that storm, that tornado, that hurricane, that cyclone, that tsunami that's hitting you, plant your feet. Don't move. Stare it in the face. It will pass. And when it does, you'll be a new thing. You'll be a new creature. Your worth, you will understand it more. You won't settle for what you settled for yesterday because you know you're worth more. Your skills, your talents will increase. You'll understand it. Just see it for what it is. It's not devastation. It's not the end of the world. It is the beginning of something new. So if it's devastating, what you had before is what's going to be devastated. It will rip your old life apart. It will tear it apart. And you will feel like you're being torn apart, but you're being changed. Like that seed that was planted. Like that coal turning into diamonds. Like that dough being proved and then put in the oven to become bread. You're going to become what you've wanted. This has to happen. So what if I told you the storm you're going through was supposed to be? See it for what it is. Plant those feet. Stand firm. Don't run. Don't hide. Don't cower in a corner. Put those shoulders back. Let that change happen. And watch. Watch you reach your destiny. I am. I've never thought that this journey with paparazzi and this journey with stretching me would rip my life apart to change it into what I wanted all along. This and so many other things. Because I'm a writer, I'm a photographer, I'm a creative, and I look good doing it. So I'm weathering this storm. And it doesn't bother me anymore because I know its purpose. It just gets greater later. Remember that. This has to happen in order for you to reach your destiny.